to the heroes who make the magic happen in our community. Ready to shine? Snag your ticket for just $75 or rally your friends for a table of 8 at $600. When we celebrate community champions, we're really celebrating all of us. The G Awards, September 26th. Get your tickets now and let's make some noise for what matters most.
And good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Search Presents show. I'll just sort of say our intro music is Riders on the Storm, but we didn't cue that up tonight. So I'll just go, Riders on the Storm. Just give that man a ride, or sweet Emily who will die. Yes. So I'm blowing Jill's headphones off on it. My name is Lou Bruno. I am your host, but I'm not going to play complete host tonight because we're really lucky and that Gray Dolan decided to stop in, who graces our airwaves every Sunday.
From 11 to 1.
From 11 to 1, and entertaining show to put it mildly, we shall say.
It is spicy, even though I get referred to as being salty and shady.
It is a spicy hot show. So do listen in. One of the many great shows on 98.3 The Life FM. We are very happy that they've sponsored our show for 10 years. And we are here tonight, as always, with the Chief, Terry Cox, our Senior Advisor and Consultant.
Good evening.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Cox. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. And, of course, our contributing editor, Jill Hughes. How are you?
I'm good.
That is wonderful. And as I said at the top, Gray was nice enough to come in. And this has just got such a treat for me because she's going to run the board. And I'm going to sit back and listen because when we have a great guest and we really have an important show tonight. We've talked about him in the past, but the GPF Foundation and Mike Bechtel is in tonight to tell us about all the great things going on there, and especially their upcoming awards dinner. Some would like our awards dinner, which we just, that's tomorrow night, 20 years celebration.
Mazel tov.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, I guess it's completely appropriate because it is New Year.
It is New Year.
It is New Year. It is New Year. So
56 something.
I don't keep count. Yes.
Yeah, neither do I. But what's funny is Yom Kippur falls on my birthday this year. So I'm having all my cake in the morning and the night before.
I'm not playing in the fast.
Okay.
But, in talking to Gray, we both we found out we had the same ambition in life.
Oh,
like going
is?
We were both playing into Merry Jewish Lawyers.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I also, at one point in time, wanted to become the Jewish lawyer and in becoming a Jewish comic.
And I did. And,
It's not similar, right?
It's very similar. I chose the other. I chose the other ethnic stereotype path. It was like law, medicine, disappoint your mother.
It worked well for me. I hope Rhonda's listening on that. We sit here the night before the eve of the big anniversary, and Jill, you've been working extraordinarily hard, as well as a lot of other
not
people.
Really, not as much. There's a lot of people who've been working
Bish,
very hard.
Marty,
very hard.
Rusty, Ron Grace, Cheryl. Gray was helping us out when she could with her across-country travel schedule. Where are you performing?
I have a private event.
Oh, okay.
So, and that translates to they pay big money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a private event, but no, I was in New York 2 weeks ago. I was in LA. I got to go back to LA. I was in Vegas. I go back to LA in like 5 weeks.
And then you hang out in Round Lake Beach.
And then I'm hanging out in the rolling metropolitan of Round Lake Beach, as opposed to the Gotham City that is Waukegan.
We're honored to have you at the station, I think.
I am honored to be here.
No, we are, but over the years we have attracted as radio personalities here at 98.3 FM The Life, broadcasting from Round Lake Beach, and streaming worldwide on WRLR.FM, and catch us on TuneIn Radio. But it seems that bad comedians like me, show up all the time. But good ones, professional ones, like Gray, we do get, and frequently. I don't even know it, but then they find out. Like, I think I knew from Gray in the beginning that she had comedic talent, but
I lead with that.
Yeah, I didn't know that Marty Chalove, among other things, and I was speaking with our guest, Mike Pechtel, who's here to my left, and we will let him speak at some time. But that Marty had been a longtime comedian as well, and he will be emceeing tomorrow night, the Master of Happiness himself.
He has what we call the gift of the gab. In England, he's just very good at speaking to people, with people, being very warm, inviting, and he'll be a great MC.
Yes. So again, thank you. We like to thank all the people, Terry and everybody over at Citizens Court Council, and in helping us get off the ground, sponsoring us. And when the test really came during the pandemic, the organization that Terry had set up and kept going for many years, this Court Council provided the foundation for a lot of the volunteer work that got people in and out of vaccination lines. And I don't even want to get in. We did a vaccination show 2 weeks ago. I don't even want to go there. I mean, one of the things nowadays, you almost can't say anything without being a political football. How do you get away with that?
I avoid politics because I have strong ideology and I don't want to alienate half my audience.
Oh.
And audiences will turn on you very quickly. And if I have to rely in some ways on the cheap humor that is politics, I'm not doing my job right. And I'm not one of those comics. I'm not a George Carlin. I'm not a political comment. I'm not a Dennis Miller. I am me, and that's who I am as a comic. So I'm going to make fun of myself. I'm going to make fun of my adventures. I'm going to make fun of my family. All of my ex-boyfriends. I feel like every time if I date a new guy, I feel like he should sign a release. Like, please sign this.
I can make fun of you.
So I can make fun of you
during the relationship and afterwards.
Exactly. And I've dated a handful of comics, and what's so funny is one of them goes, "I don't like those jokes." I was like, "Well, maybe you should have been a better person." Just saying.
There you go.
I have to jump in here, Greg.
Please
do.
Let's welcome Michael Pechtel, everyone.
Thank you.
To our studios.
But first, a question for Greg.
Yes.
Would you continue dating a guy even if you didn't really see it going anywhere because he provides you with such
good material.
Comedic material?
Okay, so that's actually it's actually kind of a loaded question because I am a massive commitment phobe, emotional avoidant, and emotionally cold. So it's usually at one point in time, it's like I get that good morning text. I'm like, why? I just talked to you like 3 days ago. You're smothering me.
What now?
Yeah, like what you want now? Like what has happened in the past 72 hours that you feel the need to talk to me? So the answer to that is I don't know. And I'm also at an age where I'm kind of running out of time. So at this point in time, it's kind of like dating for marriage. But then again, commitment absolutely terrifies me. So I am my own I am my own contradiction.
I don't know is a perfectly acceptable answer.
No, that's too short.
Did you hear about the kidnapping at Gurney Mills?
No, I didn't.
Miss that one.
Yeah, they woke him up and he was fine.
Oh, all right. Terry, for many years,
this is why Terry is not a comedian.
Great
his
material.
Main career.
Hey, upcoming is the 8th annual GPF Foundation fundraiser and event that will be held on October 16th, 2025. At the beautiful Northmore Country Club, and more important for Lou when he attends these things, a wonderful dinner, by the way, with nice appetizers. We've told the story before, and it's worth repeating each and every year. We try to, do a show related to GPF. Ross and Nancy Friedman did an amazing thing. They took what has to be one of the most horrible things that could happen to a couple and have the untimely death of their young, promising son due to a drug-related death, and saw that there were issues there that could become positives and save other people. And now for 8 years with the foundation. They've been doing that, and it's an amazing work, getting out to medical professionals who they saw need to get some more information, first responders, and they have donated their time and efforts and get people out to educate first responders because oftentimes, okay, I'll say we, but I'm not a professional, nor Jill has. Terry has been, and Terry knows this
Yeah,
better than anyone
sure.
for decades of service, which we're going to be talking about tomorrow night at our dinner. But it's sometimes hard for first responders to recognize what conditions may be affecting an individual. And Ross and Nancy decided to do something about it, not just sit back, but to go out and see that Greg's experience, unfortunate and tragic as it was in their experience, becomes a positive. We are privileged to have met him before, and he's been out to speak to our group, our CERT group, as well as many others. Michael Bechtel, who handles a good amount of public relations for the foundation. And Mike, I'll turn it over to you. I guess I've given a little bit of synopsis, but there's a lot more to talk about the foundation. So,
Yeah, there is. Thanks, Lou, and thanks for allowing us some time this evening to talk not only about our upcoming 8th annual event. It's the principal fundraising event for the GPF Foundation. It's held every year at Northmore Country Club, and I have to tell you, as someone who's been to a fair number of these types of fundraisers, I've never been to one quite like this. This is actually going to be my 5th. So just recapping, I've heard from an astrophysicist. I've heard from an astronaut. I heard a couple of times from a crime novelist. And this year, we're reaching all the way out to Lake Forest, where the GPF Foundation is headquartered, to invite in Diane Kwan, who is an Academy Award-winning film producer. And she's going to be in conversation with Jill Carter, who is the creative director for Christ Church in Lake Forest. And they have campuses throughout Lake County as well. But the theme for every one of these annual events has always been different. The work on the annual event pretty much begins within a week after the conclusion of that year's edition. And we always put a lot of effort into what is the theme going to be. So this year's theme is an evening of lens and light. And it really focuses around the role that communications has, in the broadest sense, in changing people's lives. Diane, as a film producer, uses the camera lens. So picture that right now. That picture lens, as well as the light packs that the film crew provides, illuminates the characters, the actors, the scenery, the costuming, in order to tell a story. And in many respects, not-for-profit organizations all do that as well. We illuminate a particular topic with communications. So we're very excited about this conversation with Diane Kwan, but that's not the only thing that takes place. Larry Potash, who is the co-anchor of the, again, award-winning WGN morning news show, top-rated morning news program in Chicago, returns as our MC and genial host. And
he does an excellent job.
He does an excellent job. After everyone enjoys an excellent dinner and excellent work by the bar crew at Northmore Country Club. That's one thing that I learned from Ross Friedman, who is our leader of the GPF Foundation. It's very important to have good drink, good food, and then an engaged and enlightening presentation. So we're very pleased to have Larry back for that. But we also have something that I think is going to maybe take away a lot of people's breath, and that is one of our fellows. So we have medical fellows. We have a crew of medical fellows every year that come in, and they all work on different aspects of the foundation's programs. Caitlin Shelley, who comes from a small farming community in Idaho, is going to be giving a special address. And what's really special about this is she grew up in a community that was devastated by fentanyl. She grew up losing high school classmates. That upbringing informed her into what she wanted to pursue as her career, and she is she's a student doctor right now at the medical college at Rosalind Franklin University, and she is regularly giving presentations to high school aged kids, about the dangers of recreational drugs. There's a new phrase, a hashtag, if you will. Just say no. No, this time is spelled K-N-O-W.
Yeah, okay.
So the idea here is the previous efforts, just say no, were an abysmal failure. But now that we're respecting young adults, and it goes down to high school kids, we're respecting them if they're well informed to make an informed decision. Caitlin's address is going to speak really from her heart and her own experience as to why she has taken this particular path and why her working as a fellow for the foundation has set her on this path, as well as her studies at Rosalind Franklin.
I'm just thinking that the kids who have gone through this firsthand and lost friends will be a lot more interested in what is going on, because it hits home with them, as opposed to just preaching and saying you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do it. Once you've lost somebody that's a close friend, I think that really is going to make a huge impact on that child, on the family, on their friends.
You're absolutely right, Jill. And in fact, over the years, a core component of the work that the foundation does is to bring in these medical fellows from Rosalind Franklin University, as well as interns. We are this close, as he holds his fingers, a millimeter apart, this close to having our 50th fellow or intern since launching this program. And what's really fantastic about this, and this is my own personal observation, having seen many of these young people involved with peer-to-peer teaching, is that we've got young people who are communicating to young people.
Right.
And that's where the real power occurs. Everybody around this table right now could do what these folks do, the fellows and the interns, but we can't make the connection the same way that you can when it's coming from someone who's maybe just a couple of years older than you. Our interns, our fellows always come from Rosalind Franklin, but our interns come, and I have to look at a list, you guys, because they come from places like Lake Forest College. They come from Lake Forest High School. They come from the University of Wisconsin in Madison and the University of Wisconsin in Whitewater, just up Rand Road, Route 12.
Yeah, Whitewater's a lot closer.
It's
than
very
people
close.
think.
It's very close. We also have an intern right now who is in the film school at the University of Southern Cal. So this footprint keeps getting wider and wider as these interns are coming up in lots of interesting and new places for us.
One thing that I wanted to comment on, Terry will remember this, but I've been watching a lot of old videos of it for some reason. Terry, what was Labor Day famous for many a years?
The 4th of July.
No, Labor Day.
No.
What would everybody do on Labor Day weekend? What would we watch? The old Jerry Lewis telethon.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh, that's right.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
And I was looking at some things he said about it, especially the formation of it. And he said what people didn't realize, it was a 365 job for him as it went on. And Mike, you just mentioned it too. The work of the foundation to just have the one event spectacular as it is, and trust me, I unfortunately missed. I was away on a trip last year, but we scheduled our trip around the foundation this year event so we can be there. It's a full year's work to get the people in place, to get donations, to get the presenters, to get the speakers, and there have just been some terrific authors, speakers, presenters, sports figures. Tony Dungy
Right.
contributed. The Duke coach, who's local, John Shire,
Mhm.
he has contributed, and it's an amazing commitment that never ends when you're doing something like this.
What's interesting is you cite some of those past speakers and presenters is that we're very discerning in who we invite in to talk, and they get a full brief on the GPF Foundation too, to help them in their decision making. And they all say yes. They all say yes once they understand what Nancy and Ross and their family and their friends, because this was a collaborative effort. It wasn't just the Friedman family. It was people coming to the Friedman family and friends who said, what can we do? And so, as Lou, you aptly said, because it sounds like you knew him, and I came after Greg's passing, but GPF Foundation memorializes his memory and his lasting impact, but it also stands for Greg's path forward. And the path forward is saving lives through awareness, and it's awareness that comes through communications. And that's why Lens and Light is such an apt theme for this year's annual event.
Yeah.
I
Please,
think it would be
go
very,
ahead,
very
Greg.
healing. Yeah, very healing as you know, because they're such nice people. They were in the studio, and they were just fabulous people. But to go through that and then trying to help other kids and other families not go through that, even if you save one person, then that's worth it. And you know they're going to save more than one person.
Yeah, it's hard to quantify, but experts have noted that the decrease in 2024 in fentanyl deaths is attributed to many things. Some of it is goes back to the previous administration that did some things to clamp down on the supply of the chemical precursors that are used to make fentanyl. Some of it is through increased awareness and
Awareness, yeah.
understanding on the part of the medical community. And some of the credit for the decrease goes to this groundswell of efforts by organizations, not just ours, but there's literally scores of them around the country that are banging the drum about really know what you're doing before you do it.
I travel for a stand-up, and I was in Fort Wayne, Indiana, because my career is going places. And there were, and I am in the middle of nowhere, Indiana.
I
and-
love the Hoosier State, by the way.
Are you from the Hoosier State?
No, I just wanted to say the Fremont Township CERT loves the Hoosier State. Just so
All right,
that,
I
you
can
know,
dig.
we're
I can
clear.
dig.
Okay.
And I'm driving through. I'm in cornfields. I'm absolutely terrified just because people are nice. It was so weird. And there were all these, like, at the gas stations and rest stops, there were these posters about fentanyl abuse and stuff like that. And I was like, and I mean, I grew up in Waukegan, in Chicago, in, the late night, I grew up
A while ago.
a while ago.
That's okay.
And the drug, and it was like, if you did anything, no one talked about it. It was very hush hush. And I mean, you'd walk in on people doing cocaine in the bathroom. Now it's like, people are so much more aware that there is a problem, that when you say, like, these ground troops are trying to change things, seeing these posters, I'm like, I had no idea, and I'm sober.
Well, the public service announcement that played 20 minutes before this show went on the air too. That's another effort. I go to bars. I love to listen to music, and a lot of times they'll be playing in small clubs. And I always laugh, and I take a picture. I can show several on my phone to you later of these fentanyl warning signs that are above the urinals in the bathrooms in these clubs downtown. It's all of these small efforts that count for something. The GPF Foundation does partner with other organizations that share a similar philosophy. And just earlier this month, we supported an organization based here in, Cook County, I guess. It's Arlington Heights, but it's called Live for Lally.
Oh, I heard of
And
that. Yeah.
they are
Yep.
strong advocates for drug testing. Test before you try, right? So Mundelein had a festival the first weekend of the month. It was a smash success, right? And Live for Lally, with our support, was in the parking lot, and it's very passive.
We should say cannabis festival.
It
Yeah.
was a cannabis
Yeah.
festival, but the headliners the second night tend to draw a crowd that does some other things as well. Let's just put it that way. So quietly and somewhat passively, the Live for Lally van was there, and they're doing chemical testing for free for anybody who wonders, is this going to be safe for me to do? And the reality was, some of it that was tested wasn't safe. So we can point to perhaps life-saving action right there in Mundelein at earlier this month. So it's those kinds of things that just need to continue to happen across the country, so we can continue to bend that fentanyl death trend line. But every time we start to make progress in one area, we see the emergence of something else, and that's something that's happening right now as well. So it does come to sort of like core issues. What is the pain everybody's feeling that they're seeking, solace
Right.
or comfort, or they're reaching out for something like this? It's been going on a long time. The war on drugs is the longest running war
Right.
ever. It's claimed more lives in Mexico and the United States than the U.S. Civil War. And it's an ongoing battle, but we're winning one life at a time through, saving lives through awareness.
Well, I was at the Dead and Company concert, and sure enough, I could have passed a drug test going in, could not have passed one on my way out, because everybody was doing something, and there was one guy who passed out, and I couldn't tell if he passed out. And this is going to sound horrible. Not my job at this point. I'm just there to enjoy a concert, but I don't know if he did anything extra or just overheated or just enjoyed China Cat Sunflower a little too much.
That sounds like the Jethro Tull concert in 1976 I attended at the Chicago Stadium. But and Terry, I mean, you were making those calls. You were responding to those calls back in the 60s and 70s and 80s, and you saw it over decades. And how do things change over those years for you?
Well, for the better, I'll tell you that.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Because we're seeing a lot more improvement. And is all you can do is improve. As he said, one step at a time.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, I'm sure you teach the kids too, to let, if they have to call 911, or if their friend passes out and they've been doing drugs, then it's okay to let them know, the paramedics know who shows up, what has been going on, so they know how to treat that properly, instead of hiding and pretending and thinking they might get arrested, or I don't know what happens if they do call.
Well, we're fortunate because we have Good Samaritan laws in the state of Illinois. So anybody who finds himself in a situation wanting to offer assistance, and that's whether it's hands-on or whether it's verbal, it's okay. You can do that. You can't be prosecuted. You can't say that about every place in the country, but we're lucky that here we are protected by positive legislation.
Being a legal,
Yeah.
being a legal professional, I don't just play one on the radio. I was in court today representing clients. Yes, I know. that was an important change in Illinois law,
It was, yeah.
actually, because for years that was not the case, and I forget exactly when that got passed, but especially now with what's the common antidote that's sold?
Narcan?
Narcan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that really wouldn't be possible, in my estimation, unless you had a Good Samaritan law, and that allows everybody to provide basically some immediate first aid.
Now they're putting vending machines in.
Yeah.
Okay, on a quick Google search, all 50 states and the District of Columbia have some form of Good Samaritan law to protect those who are voluntarily render aid in an emergency. Now, what's interesting is that I hear feedback. It's my phone. Some states actually have duty to assist, including Minnesota, Vermont, Rhode Island have a specific duty to assist, which means people at the emergency scene are legally required to provide reasonable assistance, which they can simply call by calling emergency services.
Yeah, right.
So that, I mean, that's interesting. But, you know, at
Thanks.
least walking over and poking somebody in the shoulder saying, "Are you okay?" and dialing 911. If you've done nothing wrong, you have nothing to worry about.
Right.
And if you need an alias we all have aliases. At least I do.
But
More than one, probably, right?
like what Terry was saying, though, it is improving. It's improving one incremental step at a time, which is, it's great. Now, there are some things that the foundation has done that have been big leaps forward. And certainly, Lou, when you referenced at the top of the hour, the notion that we do first responder training. The GPF Foundation does first responder training. So that's great. And what's wonderful about that is that when we say to these first responders, they're not prisoners, they're patients, the light bulb goes off. And they go, well, of course, we know that.
Yeah.
Of course we know that. And it's like, oh, this is so great. We're all on the same page in regards to this issue. We partnered with Rosalind Franklin and Dr. Jim Carlson, who had a medical simulation lab. And one of the modules that they used was, okay, someone has presented themselves and these are, their symptoms. Okay. What do you do? And he's talking to these medical students and these PA students. Then the light bulb goes off. If we can do it in a simulation lab, can we also do it digitally? So lo and behold, with support from the foundation, essentially using Greg Friedman's case as the model, and then with the work done at Rosalind Franklin, and then the programming done by a digital medical simulation organization called Full Code, we created this training tool.
Yeah, I hadn't been to the full site in a little while, but you do have the simulation training, the module right up there.
Yes, and it's definitely geared for people in the medical profession or med school students, because I've yet to get through the entire case. But nearly 200,000 people on a global basis have gone through this training, and it gets some of the highest marks because this company Full Code, whenever they put a case out for training purposes, at the end of the case, you can rate it and you can also leave comments, and they've shared those with us. And this is one of their top rated training modules right now. But the idea that we had then at the board level with GPF is, if we've seen success there with first responders, doctors in training, could we do something else in the digital realm? And that's where we partnered with, I mentioned it before, University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, and we are in development right now of a video game, an educational video game. We went through the first year with a cohort of students and professors, and then because of some budget cuts and changes in the administration, the professors weren't able to continue. So we reached out to all the students and put them on our payroll And these student programmers and video designers and graphic designers and music designers and script writers and proofreaders, they're continuing to work on this. We were up in Whitewater for a gaming expo earlier this year, and we presented the game. It's called Blind Spot. It's called Blind Spot because the Friedmans realized there was a medical blind spot in the training of doctors that was exactly where Greg Friedman fell into with his case, their son's case. So Blind Spot was up for trial by all of these students. I was up there just monitoring things, doing what I do and observing. And you just saw a succession of young people, and these are all college age kids, sitting down, playing the game, and then scanning a QR code and providing us feedback. Well, this was a juried program. So all of these games were in a competition for best in class in all these various different categories. We did not win. We did not win an award, but we won because they allowed me to hear from the judges and provide, objective criticism on the status of the game, which is super invaluable because I run, back to our student programmers and I go, here's what the judges said, boom, 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 boom. And guess what? All of those have been incorporated into the game. If anybody wants to do a trial of it, I would just suggest you go to our website, which is gpffoundation.org. All one word, gpffoundation.org. Send us an email using the contact form, and I'll send you a link that allows you to also be a beta tester of our game. And your feedback, believe me, is going to be very, very valuable for us.
I think it's perfect for Gray. I think it's got you all over it, right?
Well, what's funny is I used to work as a nightclub bouncer, because that's what actors and stand-ups do when you don't have work. And I've seen a lot of really gross things in my life, and I have been covered in a lot of body fluids that are not mine or my pets. But that is one of the things I saw, and I would always say that I took first aid courses because I'm thinking I don't know what's going to happen at one of these clubs. I've been lucky, knock on wood. I never had to use anything in public. But I ended up taking CPR and used it on my dad when he had a heart attack one New Year's Day. He's fine. Does anybody want him? I'm selling him cheap.
Good
selling him cheap.
Yeah. So I always have Narcan, and I just, it's there if anybody needs it.
And I would say that even, we've got winter coming up where a lot of us are going to be home by ourselves. It would be smart for us to all take those quizzes, get certified in everything, take that beta test, because you may learn one thing and that one thing could easily save a life.
Yeah.
or prevent you may see something and go, hey, that looks a little shifty. I'm really glad I said what I said because another word's about to come out.
Terry, you had a point there.
No.
Oh, okay. You're agreeing with Gray.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, listen, Mike and Gray are absolutely correct. And again, that's with our CERT program. You get that basic training so you can assist somebody until, you can get the full professionals over to take over the rest of the jobs, as we say, what to do until help arrives.
And a lot of times it doesn't take much help.
No.
I remember I was coming out of piano lessons at the Bowen Park in Waukegan, and some woman runs up to my piano teacher, who and I were both friends, and she goes, I think I'm having a heart attack. And I said, okay, lay down. Just don't panic. And I'm like asking her these questions. I'm like, and I don't think she's having a heart attack, but I was like, hey, did you take something? Are you coming down from something? Could somebody have slipped you something? My piano teacher went to go tell the front desk. The front desk came out with an AED, and then EMS showed up, and I'm like, and I look like Helga Goat Girl today. So that's the other thing. I always look cute. But no, it was one of those things where I'm like, I was perfectly calm because I knew what to do. There was somebody there with an AED. I knew EMS was on the way, and I knew this woman wasn't, even if she had been drugged, had taken drugs, was having some sort of, I think she was having a panic attack. And in retrospect, but it was really, I'm like, I knew what to do. My piano teacher was like, he goes, I had no idea what to do. He goes, how did you know? And I'm like, I took the CERT class. I took first aid training just to be able to go, I can help somebody Because also, if something happens to me or one of my friends or family, I want a stranger to help them.
Right.
I
Yes.
had a woman where I live came down and she couldn't catch her breath. And I diagnosed myself that she was hyperventilating. So I just started talking to her.
And just relax. You didn't tell her jokes, did you?
and
Did you
started-
flirt? You flirted. Tell us the truth.
No,
But sometimes all you need is somebody being calm next to you.
Hmm.
just
Instead
say,
of going, oh my God, are you okay? It's like, just sit down and talk.
breathe
and
with
bring
me.
them down.
Just breathe away. I
Right.
am.
Good advice.
Usually the other attorney I'm opposing in court claims that I'm hyperventilating all the time, but
I used to work for an elevator company, so if you were stuck in an elevator, I would answer the phone, and I remember these people would be full on panic attacks. I was like, yeah, nothing's gonna happen. It's not hermetically sealed. You're not gonna run out of oxygen. It's
You'll
not
be
gonna.
fine.
It's not gonna crash down. The way the weights work, actually, the elevator will go up. If I remember the babblings of the mechanics, I'm like, you're gonna have a really cool party to tell at dinner stories. And I was like, tell me what happened. And I kid you not, 9 times out of 10, the person forgot to hit the button on what floor they wanted to go to. So they let the doors close and the elevator wasn't moving.
Wasn't moving.
No.
And I was like, I go, did you hit the button for your floor? They said, no. I go,
Oh,
try that. And then the elevator would move. They're like, I feel really stupid. I'm like, it's okay. It's 4:30 in the evening, in the afternoon. You're just tired, or it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Or maybe you just had a little too much to drink in your morning coffee.
maybe they're claustrophobic and they don't want to be in there for very long.
Yeah, true.
Right.
Here's my little 2 cents in life. If you're about to go into an elevator, always go ting ting first. There's my life advice. That's my life advice for everybody. If you have to get into the elevator, always make sure you make a bathroom break first.
I have to admit that last week I walked into an elevator. I was deep in thought. The doors closed. It seemed a long time. I looked up. The doors opened. I walked off.
Same floor.
wrong floor.
Same floor.
No.
Someone
I've
had
done
come. Yeah, and
I have
it's like
done that.
they've moved this office. I don't know where I am.
It happens. Like you space out for a moment, but no, I mean, even just keeping anybody calm just by
Okay.
just talking.
Hey, Mike, I don't know if I ever asked you this. I said over the years we've met a few times now. How'd you get involved with the Friedmans and the foundation?
So I own a communications agency.
Okay.
Plugola here, ding, ding, ding. Coyote Marsh is the name of the agency. I've been in business since year 2000. We have 4 kids, and I had a home office, and my kids all say, Dad, you invented work from home, because I did in year 2000. Nobody was really doing that. Before that, I was a journalist. This is kind of maybe a homecoming for me. I was a radio personality.
Oh, hey. Wow.
Yeah, I had longer hair and
we can get you on.
and dirty
We
jeans.
can get you a spot here.
Did you watch WKRP in Cincinnati too many times?
No, I really enjoyed music, and as a high schooler growing up, I was a geek, and I hung out at the NPR station in my town, and they always found something for me to do. So that's how I got started, and enjoyed it very much. But I also enjoyed having my own communications agency. The way that I got referred by a board member was rather, serendipitous, because when you're in the client service business, you're always winning clients and then losing clients. I actually had a client congratulate me on winning a big account and then saying, now don't celebrate too much because you're just one day closer to getting fired. So with that in mind, I've always kind of had a level head in regards to it, but it was a board member that referred me to the Friedmans, and we had a couple of different conversations, and we both agreed that a trial basis would make sense. And here I am, going on almost 5 years now, and fighting the fight, and trying to do a good job in creating awareness so that we can save more lives.
Yeah. And let me say this on a personal basis: you won't find friendlier people than the Friedmans.
Right.
If Raw, I mean, obviously the dinner is a large event. It's well attended, and both of the Friedmans say hello to everyone. And Ross has called us up, my wife and I, afterwards, saying, "Hey, Lou and Randy, I wasn't able to spend any more time other than to say hello to you guys, and I want to take a little extra time. How you doing, etc. Thanks for calling." And that's the type of people they are, and that's why the foundation is so successful.
I think I
Because
felt like I'd
they're
known
just
them for
warm.
years when they came in here.
Yeah.
I just met them, but you
Mhm.
feel like they're friends already.
Yes.
I have a strange question. After celebrity overdoses or celebrity deaths, is there a rise in people seeking help?
Really a good question. I'm not really sure about
Okay.
that, Gray. There's the old what was it, the Curse of 27?
27 Club.
Yeah,
Yeah.
27 Club. Yeah, so many rock stars pass away
Hmm.
at age 27. So I really don't know about that. I will say that it does get people's attention when
Yeah.
there is a crisis like that. But we'd rather not have those attention getting events.
Right.
We'd rather just keep plugging away and bending the curve on particularly fentanyl deaths.
I was just curious because I come from the generation that lost River Phoenix and Kurt Cobain when I was in high school. I gave my age away, but I just remember that even the friends that I knew that did things, I remember them pulling back because it weirded everybody out. It weirded them out.
Jill, should we drop the names of the people we lost?
I
Yeah. Jim Morrison.
Elvis. No,
Yeah. Elvis.
Jimi Hendrix,
Jimi Hendrix.
Chris
Janis-
Farley,
I
John
didn't
Belushi.
personally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I was at school, when I was
Yeah.
at boarding school, I didn't know anybody who did drugs. I mean, we went to boarding school in somewhere like Iowa, so there's potato fields up there. Was no, there's no supply up there, so I guess that was part of it. But I wasn't aware of that at all.
Well, thanks to the U.S. interstate system, there's a supply everywhere now.
Right.
Hmm.
Right.
What I find interesting is in how many comics I've known who have died of overdoses, who have had. I mean, it's kind of tragic how many. Like I remember working with a comic on Sunday. We were writing some jokes together. He OD'd on Monday night.
Oh no.
And he was 20, I think 20, 21. Like
Wow.
he was a baby. I was like, oh, and I still I still can't wrap my head around it. Well, that was just a depressing moment.
Well, I'm sorry, Terry. Go ahead.
the guy on Big Bang Theory,
Which one?
the one that died.
Somebody from Big Bang, or is it a different show?
No,
The
Okay.
young guy.
yeah, he was a younger guy, and he died on of unknown quite reasons.
Mm.
To begin with,
Oh, or was it
But-
not Three's Company, or with the kids, the two daughters? I forget. Wasn't he on with Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen? Who
Oh
was that?
yes,
It-
the Full House.
Full House.
Full House. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We used to watch that back in the day.
Bob Saget.
Bob
Oh,
Saget.
Saget.
Yeah.
Yep. that proves I'm still old.
Though, and definitely a topic for another show, maybe another time. But ultimately, and I have my biases as to why things happen, but we can stop fentanyl deaths tomorrow if people choose not to use it. And I've been fortunate enough that I've never had a temptation, steered clear of it professionally, because in my legal career, I've had to represent people with drug and alcohol problems. And I know that some of it is medically related, some of it is collateral to other diseases or conditions, and the big hereditary factor that's you have connected there. But but then again, you just say, hey, don't use it, then we won't have that problem. But I sound like somebody else.
No, I
and,
mean, but you know, when you
know.
talk about like alcohol, like how it's alcohol, like so in my family, grandpa died due to alcoholism, an uncle died due to alcoholism, a cousin of mine passed away about a year ago of alcoholism. I have struggled with the bottle myself. And it's one of those things that sometimes you have to just to choose, like you make a choice. Like it's real easy to make the choice. It's really difficult to keep that choice. And that's my story.
Well, yeah, we got probably about 5-6 more minutes before we sign off. So, do want to hit a couple other notes. First of all, again, we urge people take a look at the GPF Foundation website. Learn about their annual event. Learn about their work in the community, whether it's with medical professionals, first responders, reaching out to young people. Their event, I mean, you can actually attend virtually because they will live stream it. And I will tell you,
The food's not as good though, is it?
no, the food is not as good
No.
when you live stream it, especially the appetizers. They just have some wonderful appetizers at Northmore. But I get to work early for the appetizers. But yeah, do it. You know, it listen, I'm not going to tell you that the dinner isn't, cheap. It isn't McDonald's. It does go to a good cause, but see what they have to say on the live stream. You'll learn a lot. And whether you can contact Michael or the Friedmans themselves through the website, and we just can't say enough for the work they do.
Thank you. The work is all about harm reduction. Harm reduction is essentially informing people on risks and then trusting with their own God-given talents, as well as our effectiveness at communications, that they can make a good decision and enjoy themselves and go out and have fun and go to great dinners and never pass up the appetizers.
No,
That's always my motto.
Never pass up the appetizers. Always get there in advance for the appetizers.
In the
But
decades that I've known Lou, he has never passed up an appetizer.
well, yes, and that led me 2 years ago to a visit to an emergency room, and then, well, let's go unclog that artery, Lou. We think we better open up your heart right now.
But you just actually hit on something, and how many people have become accidentally addicted to opiates due to injuries and stuff. Like you get hurt and they, would hand you a bottle. I remember I had a surgery and they're like, here's a bottle. I'm like, all right, cool. What do I do with this? They're like, it's painkillers. And I was like, all right, I wasn't in pain, but I still took one because I was told to. And I woke up on my dog's dog bed with my laptop on my chest and my dog in my bed. I don't remember anything. I remember taking the pill and that was it.
No. I had some very strong painkillers for something, and I took one, and I was someplace else for 24 hours, and I said, "Don't ever give me those again. Don't like that feeling. Don't want it. Don't need it."
I walked out of the hospital after hernia surgery, double hernia surgery, and they gave me something on the way out. Didn't take anything more than Tylenol. I'm not pregnant, so I guess there's no risk in taking that.
None whatsoever.
All right, bad joke, Lou.
I was gonna say it's 2025. You never know these days.
Yeah. And I've had a couple teeth extracted recently, and
A leave. Leave is
again,
good.
yeah, maybe one when I got home, but that was it. But Grace,
I had multiple.
They give you this stuff.
Not anymore. And I just had a couple of broken teeth fixed because apparently I clenched my teeth. Somehow I'm high strung. I don't know. And then I just had jaw surgery about 4.5 weeks ago. And they said, take some Tylenol. And I was like, that's no fun. Considering that my dentist is a deadhead. I was like, really? While in jaw surgery, I was listening to Grateful Dead, but it was just, he's like, no, we don't give it out anymore. And I was lucky. All I had to do was take a couple of Aleve and some Tylenols.
Yeah.
And I was fine. For me, the worst part was actually feeling the bone healing again because they had a file down bone. That was not fun. That was not fun to hear or smell.
Yep.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Hey,
We got 4.5 minutes left.
yeah, tomorrow night, 20th anniversary dinner for 98.3, the live WRLR community radio for Lake County. And first of all, it's been a privilege to work with everybody, in this room. And Mary, who's not here and who will be at the dinner tomorrow night, and we hope to see her in the future. Ann Walker will be at the dinner, who, for our first 5 years was with the team. And we hope to get her back in maybe sometime, maybe before.
Good luck with that.
Yes. But so, and we've been here 10 years with the CERT team, and each and every day here has been marvelous. I come from a stressful job every day. It doesn't seem to get any less stressful, but
This relaxes you, right?
Yeah, you come back and you get
Yeah.
relaxed, and it's been wonderful. But it's the return also of the Geo Awards, which was our annual radio awards show.
What
it is
does
a
GEO
fundraiser.
stand for?
Well, it back in the day when they were starting the station, a legendary state representative, Terry
Geo Karas, right?
yeah, Adeline Gia Karas,
Yeah.
who was
Okay.
a very effective politician, to say the least. Some people may have called her old school, and she lived into her 90s, so she really was old school, and was I think still in office in her late 80s.
Strong
But
lady.
yeah, but was very instrumental in helping getting the station established.
Every time I went in to testify in Springfield, she would call me up to her office and she'd present me and so on and so forth.
Yeah. Back in the day, she was an extremely, we'll say, powerful politician in Lake County and throughout the state. She had been in office for decades, literally. So it is, the Geo Awards are named after her, but Gray's giving me.
I have 2 minutes left.
So if you are still interested, I think we could probably sneak 1 or 2 people in.
But not 50.
Yes, but not 50 on it, because I know there's a couple cancellations, and unfortunately, Gray will have a engagement, and good luck on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we're very happy to hear and see that you're so active and professionally and
Yeah.
I'm trying.
huge in Indiana.
Huge in Indiana. Yeah. I had to reschedule things because of jaw surgery. So, but luckily everybody was pretty understanding, and they're like, "Oh my God." And they're like, "Oh, wow, that's so great." And I tried rescheduling my New York trip, but that was not going to happen, but that's okay.
Okay. But we will be back in 2 weeks. We're been on and that will be the 9th. And you won't get any better than tonight, having Mike and learning about the GPF Foundation. So I thank Gray for taking the hard work.
No, I'm happy to work the board.
Yeah, Terry, Jill, Mike, it's great to see you again, and I'll see you at the dinner.
Yeah.
I will be here. My best to Ross and Nancy. I see them both occasionally.
You can give it to them in person.
I will. Hopefully I'll see Ross between then. So I guess for everybody at the Sirs Present show, good night. Be well, everybody. Please be mindful, no matter what it is. And we'll see you all in 2 weeks. Have a great evening.
WRLR 98.3 FM LP, Round Lake Beach, Illinois.